A great tragedy is unfolding today in the world. Crime, disease, overpopulation, the environment.
AIDS.
The loss of performance brands. AMG, what does it mean anymore today on the Road Testament? AMG. Mm-hmm. We're not really just talking about AMG. We're talking about performance brands and their death, really.
Yeah.
Go back 6-7 years. Name performance brands. AMG.
M.
SRS.
Okay. SVT.
SVT. Jaguar R.
Okay.
Volvo R.
Very good. Yeah.
Dodge.
SRT. Yeah.
Yeah.
Subaru STI.
STI.
Thank you, Miles. Again from
Mitsubishi Evo.
Yeah.
All right. That covers enough of what we're trying to get at today.
Now look at it today.
All right. What's the best Mercedes? Not AMG.
Well, it's an AMG Black Series.
Okay. What's the best Audi? Not an S.
It's an R.
It's an RS.
RS. Yeah.
Well, you don't think there's going to be an RS8?
I don't know.
I promise you, there will be. Okay.
Well,
yeah, there's going to be an RS8. The GT is the track car. Okay. So what we're getting at here is, all right, you go to a restaurant and order a scotch. What are you ordering?
I don't know. I don't drink scotch.
Well, most people order, I'll have a black label on the rocks.
Yeah.
What a coincidence. Johnny Walker Black Label. Huh. Mercedes
Series.
Black Series.
Okay.
But what happened to that?
To the Black Label.
Yeah, they were so successful in marketing Black Label as the best scotch you could get. It never was. At a bar, they had to come out with Purple Label, Green Label. Oh, they have so many labels coming out. It makes no sense. And that's what Mercedes has done with AMG.
And the point of what we're trying to get at is Mercedes has led the way with building too big of a portfolio, and they had to kind of bring that back with getting rid of the CLK branding and just calling it E-Coupe. And it seems as if a lot of performance brands are kind of losing their way. Audi, everyone hates me for bringing them up, but the S brand no longer is built within Quattro GmbH.
It's because the S4 is no longer an S4. It's last generation A4 3-liter replacement.
With the supercharger,
and
yeah.
Now you have an RS4.
And the RS is really the top of the line.
And Mercedes is they've done something worse than diluting their brand. They've diluted their brand within the brand.
Yep.
You walk into a dealership and say, you want the best Mercedes of anything. It's not an AMG.
Well, it's an AMG
It's
Black
the
Series.
Black Series.
Yeah. What are AMGs now? They're just big engines, bigger brakes, and slight tweaks to some computer software. The Black Series, you guys now see the C63 AMG Black Series online. It's wider stands, different differential, bucket seats, lightweight, different body panels. So much more than what AMG is. It's now the pinnacle of the brand.
I've said all along that the problem with Mercedes, not exclusively, but uniquely in leading the way going down this road, is too many models, too many versions of each models, too many brands within brand.
Yeah.
I mean, is the SLS considered a Black Series car?
No.
I guarantee you there'll be an SLS Black Series.
We've heard that rumor, yeah.
It's sad. Let me tell you, this is a mistake. Because when you dilute brand within brand, when you segment your market so completely and fracture it so completely, you walk into a dealership, like, it's
too much.
It's just too much.
Well, we've seen this trend happening with the German manufacturers. Porsche, not so much. They've got Rennsport RS.
Actually, no. You say Porsche, not so much. Porsche is like among the innocents in this game.
Yeah.
Because, Mercedes. You bought a Mercedes in the old days. You said you own a Mercedes. It meant something. Mm-hmm. You made money. You bought an S-Class. Mm-hmm. It didn't matter which S-Class you bought. You owned an S-Class. But today, you own an S-Class in Germany, you might own an S320 diesel.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
Yeah.
Mercedes began this game when they released the 190 back in, 84, 85, I don't know what year it was. And they almost did it right.
Yeah.
Because the AMG Hammer, which was the multi-branded, weird, sports car back then.
Not really part of Mercedes.
It was really an M3 competitor. Yeah. Cloth seats with a funny stitching and everything. that meant something. And then they blew the market open by just multiplying number of models within each. I mean, they went crazy.
Disaster.
BMW, okay, is the least guilty of the Germans.
They do have the M3 GTS and they do have the CSL.
But these are subsidiary models.
Yeah.
The CSL is not a brand. You don't go on the website and see CSL editions.
Yeah,
okay,
you're right.
All right, and they're diluting themselves, but they're diluting the brand in general. They're not diluting the M brand.
You're right. You're
Okay.
right. And much like Ford hasn't diluted SVT.
SVT.
Yeah.
I mean, they've gone kind of sideways by having Shelby editions of things.
Well, that's not really part of
Okay.
Ford.
They're kind of where Mercedes was then 25 years ago.
Yeah.
BMW has kept Alpina outside the portfolio. It's a separate company.
But at the same time, bringing in the warranty, allowing it's a very convoluted relationship, but it works. You're right.
But they're not blowing up what took 100 years to build.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is what
still
Mercedes is doing.
It's still very unique, which is awesome.
Now
That's why I love Alpina.
Let's look at the other manufacturers. Are they following? Volvo had the R.
Got rid of it,
They're bringing it back.
which is cool.
And that's really the equivalent of like Audi S or BMW M,
Yep.
maybe. I don't know. AMG.
Fiat A-Bar. The A-Bar edition. You're still
Yes.
sick from 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
it's still.
Sorry. The Abarth edition, the Fiat 500, which is out in Europe.
It's
gonna
the,
be
but it's
coming
the
to
only
US.
it's the only sport Fiat
It's
nomenclature
cool.
you have.
Badass.
Yeah.
Jaguar R.
Yeah. Jaguar's kind of losing it a
Okay,
little
but
bit.
consistent. There's no R black.
Oh,
Okay.
True.
The Japanese have not even bothered because actually they diluted
STI.
Okay,
Evo.
Actually, they don't even count because they're so specialized. But actually, think about it. Lexus, okay, Infiniti.
IPO?
These were supposed to be their high-end brands. They became so common that their high-end brands.
Now have performance divisions. Infinity
Yeah,
IPL.
except
Yeah.
that the high-end brands have crept down and pushed their own sub-brands lower. Okay?
Yeah.
Think about it. And
It's a-
IPL, I mean, you know, talk about a car that should have had its own branding. The ISF and the
LFA.
the LFA.
LFA
But
should have. Yeah. I
So-
get that.
I'm going to come out and say it right now. I'm going to name two companies that are not playing this game, and they are dead right.
Okay. You've got 30
The
seconds.
first one we did last week, Aston Martin. Okay, yes, they're coming. They have Halo models of a Halo brand, but at the end of the day, it's an Aston Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, except for the Signet. Let's put that aside. But it's an Aston Martin, and it always will be. And God bless them. Brand equity, 1-to-1 ratio. I
Okay.
bought it. It's mine. You
Next.
buy a Mercedes. You
No.
walk into a bar. Say you own a Mercedes. A girl in there be like, me too. The stripper down the block has one. Okay? Okay. The other
Next.
brand, Porsche.
Porsche.
And wait, there's a third brand we're totally forgetting. Okay?
What?
Ferrari. Okay?
Ah, no.
I don't-
Scuderia. So
Okay.
the-
No. But
Bull-
you say you own a Ferrari, okay? The stripper down the block, the delivery guy, the guy at the bar is drunker than you. He doesn't have one. Okay.
Okay,
And
all right.
Porsche, no, they have. There's a Ferrari Scuderia. Sure, it's not a cosmetic difference. It's a real difference.
Okay, you're right.
Okay,
You are
you
right.
buy a Porsche Turbo S. There's a real difference there, and it's a
very little horsepower.
but they're not. It's not a cosmetic thing.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Okay. Performance-wise,
And
we're running out of time.
these are brands whose brands are still about the brand.
Yeah.
A Porsche is a Porsche, a Ferrari is a Ferrari, and Aston's an Aston, except for the Signet.
I think the only brand right now that I think really only brands that have it right, SVT, STI. STI is still, I think, they got it. They have a few special editions, but they are there.
And I'm going to give BMW props for trying to stick it out and not do this.
Maybe they'll
And
pass through.
when they come out with an M7,
We're out of time.
that's when it's all over.
Okay.
Next week, racing coverage.
How the TV networks are destroying motorsports in the United States. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly.
Ow, we're living in the fast lane, baby.